This is Orson Welles speaking. I'm bringing you now a story called Under Suspicion. Well, the lady was called Madame Freya. I have no idea whether that was her real name. Probably not. It doesn't matter. She was making herself a reputation as a fine pianist in concert halls all over the world, and you add to this the fact that she was still young, beautiful as well as talented, and maybe you'll believe that she was somebody to be envied. Well, yes, in many respects. But the life of a touring concert performer is not by any means roses all the way, you know. You go where your concert agent sends you, so you find yourself in strange foreign cities, often alone, with nobody to turn to if problems arise and things get tough, as they can do in a country where the law is a political instrument and the police have powers of life and death. Well, in that kind of situation, any woman is deeply vulnerable, and Madame Freya, more than most, as you'll see. She was compelled to choose between two alternatives, both equally appalling. She made a decision. But maybe because she was a woman, and a passionate woman at that, the result was wholly unpredictable.
Oh, darling, hurry, I'm trying to
Come away!
Bravo,
Very good.
bravo.
Careful, my love. Careful.
Am I your love? Your only love.
Of course you are. There you are.
We shall drink to love, to love.
Yes, we shall. But you'll stop loving me when you hear my bad news.
Never.
Oh, yes, you will. I'm going to miss your recital tonight.
You can't.
Darling, my editor insists.
Your
I go to the
editor is a
Brazilian-
sadistic brute.
My
and
editor
so
is
are
not a
you.
sadistic
And I
brute.
hate you.
No.
I hate you. Oh, are you going to be sorry? You're going to miss something this evening I was going to play just for you.
Darling, do you think for a second that if I could possibly get out
I
of this...
know you love me. You fill my house with flowers. You bring me vintage champagne. Simone, I'm so happy to see you in your own country at last.
Yes, it's such a bad time.
Oh, don't think about politics, darling. All I can think about is I'm leaving tomorrow, and I don't know when I'll see you again.
Tonight.
Tonight?
Mm-hmm. At 11 o'clock. And just for 5 minutes.
I adore you. Oh, but darling, it's so late.
Darling, will you do something for me?
Anything.
Well, an article I've written for a friend of mine in Caracas is overdue. Now, if I bring it with me tonight, will you take it with you tomorrow? You are going to Caracas, aren't you?
On the noon plane, of course, I'll take it, darling. But you must leave. I'm expecting my hairdresser, business manager, makeup.
See you at 11.
Smart. Jules, you are a half hour late. Who are you and what do you want?
Forgive me, the door was left open, so I came in.
How dare you? If you're a reporter, you'll wait with the others.
Vega, Bureau of State Security. May I see your passport, please?
Why?
Routine.
Been in your city for 3 days now. My passport has been demanded a dozen times.
These are troubled times.
Yes. Occupation pianist. Reason for visit recital.
Nationality? Stateless.
Have I got to explain that again?
Nope. Everything is in perfect order.
Then you must leave. I've got a dozen things to do. My hairdresser's on her way. My business manager is coming.
I'm afraid your entourage will be delayed for some minutes. I took the liberty of postponing their arrival.
You did what?
Yes, I want to talk to you.
The door was not left open. What do you want?
You begin to see that I'm serious. Good. I want your help. Madame Freya, you are stateless because you are a political refugee.
I am not political. I left because I wanted to say what I wanted to say, think what I want to think. I am an artist.
And the whole world is your audience, and for that, you need the freedom to travel. But that's not the whole story. Before you moved to the United States, you left your homeland because you were revolted by the ways of those that governed it. Prison without trial, torture.
Yes.
That's why you may be able to help me. We have people like that here. Oh, no, not the government, but those who would overthrow it. No doubt you've heard of the Monteneros.
I am not interested in politics.
Blindly dedicated to undermining our society. Their only philosophy? Terror. Assassinations of possible enemies, kidnappings, murders of diplomats and industrialists, the planting of bombs in public places and military hospitals. Their methods are the opposite of all that is decent. They are the enemies of our people. Will you help us?
Do I have any choice, sir?
Listen carefully. This is a ground floor furnished apartment, Apartment A. Apartment B is occupied by a Signor Marcosa, a former professor.
He's coming to my concert this evening.
Apartment C is occupied by a Signora Zelina, a somewhat disreputable lady.
Yes, I've seen her.
Apartment D. Rented a month ago by a foreign diplomat, yet nobody has moved in. Then last night a thought occurred to me that Apartment D could be a drop. A post office, a rendezvous for the Monteneros.
Do you have any evidence for that?
There is a man. I believe he is the brain behind them. He has been visiting this building for weeks to visit Signor Marcosa. But there's one problem. Now then, we have placed Apartment B under surveillance. Bugged it. Distasteful but necessary. We have hours and hours of their conversations recorded on tape, but nothing all perfectly harmless. Unless, of course, our man visits Apartment D first and then goes on to Apartment B as cover. Today I have arranged for some apparently vital information to be leaked. Our man would want to pass it on at once. There's no time for the setting up of cameras and tape recorders. I shall use you.
Use me?
Come. This is what you will do. You will stand behind this grill, so, and you will watch.
Watch.
From here you have a clear view of Apartment D. You will see if our man has any contact with it. Goes into it, or slips anything under the door. If he does, then he's guilty.
He could very well do all this before I return this evening.
No, he needs Signor Marcosa as cover, and the professor will be attending your recital.
I see. What will happen to him?
If he's guilty, he'll be arrested, given a fair trial.
Yes, of course.
Madame Freya! Do forgive me interrupting. I just wanted to tell you how much I've enjoyed listening to you practice.
Thank you.
Of course, I'm not really a music lover, but you've given me such real pleasure, and I know I shall always remember...
Thank you. Thank you, dear.
Pity we can't use her, but someone who's bought by so many cannot be trusted. But we trust you.
How can you be so sure that I can be trusted?
Oh, but I can. Now, we don't want to warn him off. We'll be waiting outside. But we must know instantly whether he's entered Apartment B or Apartment D. So we need a signal.
A signal?
Yes. And for that, we shall use your special talents. Come over here, please. Sit down. And now, For apartment B or anywhere else but D. Play me something that suggests innocence. Chopin, very good. And now for apartment D, the Traitor's Gate. Beethoven, very good, totally appropriate. My compliments. By the way, so you'll recognize our man.
Simone? Oh, surely you can't suspect Simone.
Simone Degamo.
Oh, but you're making a dreadful mistake. Of course Simone will come here tonight to see me.
As he came this afternoon. The whole point, Madame Freya, is this. By what route, via what apartment, if any, will he come? You've only been here for a few days. Why has he been visiting this building regularly for weeks?
To see Professor Marcosa. You said so yourself.
Perhaps.
Simone is a man of honor. He would not betray his country.
Yes, he would, for a cause. And that is why he must be...
He must be what? He must be captured. He must be interrogated. He must be tortured. He must be what? I know your methods and I know your kinds of decency. You're a liar. You've been lying to me since you came here this afternoon.
I have a job to do. I am a realist. You may, of course, be establishing the innocence of your friend.
I know you don't believe that. Spy on Simone, it's obscene. I will not do it.
I shall have to keep this overnight. As a stateless person, you must be aware of the difficulties of traveling illegally without a travel document. Now I'll leave you to prepare for your recital.
You think I'll be capable of playing after this?
Oh, I know you will. Just as you'll do everything I tell you to do. Because you're desperately anxious to be aboard that plane to Caracas tomorrow. My detention here could be very prolonged. Very painful. To you and to your hands. One man, however charming, is not worth taking such a risk for. I'm sure you'll play brilliantly tonight.
Tribune here, Features Department.
I'm looking for Simone Degamo, please.
Oh, one moment. May I tell him who's calling?
Madame Freya.
One moment. I'm sorry, Senor Degarmo has already left for the evening. Hello?
Oh, Simone, darling.
Hello?
Simone?
Hello?
Simone?
Who is this?
Is this 659051?
This is 316907.
Oh, Simone, please answer. Oh, Simone, darling, I've been trying to
Madame
reach
Freya,
you.
Vega speaking. I'm calling to tell you there may possibly be some delay in returning your passport. Naturally, I hope you'll...
Here I am, just as I promised. Oh, my poor darling. You look exhausted. Now, tell me, how did it go? Was it a triumph?
Lots of applause, lots of flowers. Your President General invited me to supper at the palace.
And instead you came back here. Because of me?
I told him I had a terrible headache. He didn't seem quite pleased.
There's a man who likes his own way. Oh, if only I could have been there. All evening I've been thinking about you, though God knows I was busy enough, a mass of work. And now I have to leave you again. My taxi's waiting outside. Now, what about the Beethoven? Did they like it?
I think it went terribly well.
I thought it would. Now, my darling, this piece that I've written for that friend of mine in Caracas, you said you'd take it. Do you remember?
Of course.
Well, I'll put it over here, so you won't forget it. Now, listen. In a month's time, I'll be in Sao Paulo for a week. Now, promise me that you'll meet me there,
Darling, all my engagements are settled.
Well, cancel them. Just for a week. Think. A whole week together.
Oh, Simone. I've never been with anybody since I met you. I thought we would be together always.
Oh, you know how difficult it is, don't you?
Impossible. Darling, I'm sorry. I really do have a terrible headache. You must go.
To Sao Paulo?
Somewhere.
Do you promise?
I promise.
Well, I really must go now. Goodbye.
Fool! Mindless little fool! You played the Beethoven. Apartment D was empty. Understand? Nothing. We searched every inch of it. And I've shown my hand for nothing. Worse! They won't come within 100 miles of here now. My one lead, possible lead, now a dead end, a question mark. Nothing in the apartment, not a thing on the body.
Oh, God.
Naturally, what did you expect? You make a mistake and a man loses his life.
I made no mistake.
Lying won't help you. We know he was never there.
I know he didn't betray his country. He betrayed me. He said he loved me, but he lied. He didn't come from apartment D. He came from apartment C. He came to me from that tramp.
Madame Freya, I must ask to see your passport, please.
You already have my passport.
You must be mistaken. May I see your passport? You know the penalties for traveling without papers. I'd like you to come with me, now. My instinct was correct. He betrayed his country and he betrayed you. More, he was using you. You to be a courier. These papers are of great value. Names and places. Yes, he was a traitor, all right. And now we come to you. Did you know what you were to carry? You will, of course, deny it. So I'll have to use my own judgment. Allow me to wish you a safe and pleasant journey to your next engagement.
Yes. In police states, things like that can happen, and often do. And anyone accused of betraying them or even under suspicion is likely to disappear very quickly indeed. But to betray a passionate woman is often just as dangerous. Madame Freya is still playing Chopin Liszt in carefully selected cities. But I'm told she's changed her concert agent.